Welcome back to the channel. So, today's topic, I will be talking about how I attracted an abundance of wealth. So, uh, I just want to start off by first saying, you know, um, I didn't grow up rich. I didn't grow up in a wealthy family, but I'm not going to say that I grew up dirt poor. I still had a roof over my head. I uh, had initially had both parents, so you know what that's like. That's luxury to most people. You know what I mean? I know some people they grew up in foster cares or they grew up in with widowed parents or whatever. That was my situation. So can't claim super rich, can't claim super poor, but I know I'm doing better than the average of my age. I'm 26 right now. So I can compare that time. So then to now, here living on my own here in Thailand. So it starts with the mentality of wanting more, you know. Um, it kind of falls under the line of greed, but then as you start to attract more, you become more grateful. So it falls back to under the category of gratitude. And I feel like both of them are very important. They go hand in hand when attracting abundance and wealth. And it starts with also figuring out what you want to do in life, what you will tolerate, um, your passions, hobbies, what your dream job is, whatever. Um, bruh, I'm on 20%. That's crazy. Um, yeah, so your dream jobs, your passions, it starts with that. And you're not going to really know early on, in school, elementary school, you're not really going to know. The teacher's going to ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then everyone's going to be like, oh, police officer, firefighter, astronaut. None of that matters then. But, as you start to develop your personality, you go into high school, you start to get a better idea of what your interests are. You'll know whether or not you like sports, you know whether or not you like chess or electronics, and so far, and whatever. So yeah, and the trick is, and no one's gonna tell you this. Whatever you find interest in, scale that all the way to the moon. You know what I mean? What would my life look like if I took this hobby or passion that I had and just a million X'd it, right? How would I look? Would I be happy doing what I do? Would I be satisfied for the most part? That's very important because then your dream job isn't really a job. It's just, you just get paid to do what you love. Now, of course, there will be some obstacles, there will be some roadblocks, some letdowns, disappointments. That's inevitable. You know what I mean? But you have to have that same end goal mindset. Uh, that needs to be inevitable as well. So once you do that, you just go forth with it, and then it's you definitely won't see results for a while, but slowly but surely you'll start attracting the people and things and places where you need to be in order to make your dream reality. Like, it's weird how it works, but it's literally just when you shift your mindset to a certain direction and you go forth, all these things are just gonna slowly kind of it's gonna all form into this perfect ball that you're in between, you know. It won't make sense, but that's how it works. So, for example, in high school, I figured I really wanted to do music, right? And I 1 million X'd myself as one of these greatest rappers of all time or artists. And sooner or later, even though I wasn't really hitting charts or anything, no income or anything, people in my school were going crazy over me. It was like, and the thing is, my music wasn't even the best back then. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's another saying. It's like God gives you a preview of the life that you want. It gives you a preview of what it's like then. And then once you figure it out, okay, that was just a preview, then it's up to you to work for you to achieve that desired outcome. So back to my example, my school was going crazy. Everyone knew me. I was skipping classes. I was walking into other classes, and they're like, Sterlo, oh my gosh, they're going crazy. Of course, all of it wasn't authentic. I knew that, but I'm feeding off of the energy of how I want my reality to pan out in the future. And even if people are being sarcastic, I feed into the genuine people and I listen to the sarcastic people, but I pretend that it's genuine as well. So therefore, all this energy is just turning into like motivation, inspiration, and everything of how things would turn out, right? So yeah, after high school, it wasn't the same, obviously. Uh, it's like people grow up, people realize, oh, we have our own things to worry about, and you just keep doing you. I kept doing me, and let's see what else. Yeah, you just take on little gigs here and there. People won't understand. That's another thing. People will not understand you. People will not understand what you got going on, especially if it's not anything crazy. They'll probably understand. But if it is, like for example, I know some people take gambling serious. Like they don't do it as a hobby. That's their life. That's their profession. They're a professional gambler. They go to casinos, and that's their 9 to 5. I still can't wrap my mind around that, you know. Um, but hey, they see the vision. They see it. They see the end goal. So who am I to tell them anything? You know what I mean? But yeah, eventually you'll get to the point where it's like you can look back and finally see your results, and you're like, there's a feeling inside nobody can ever take away from you. You know what I mean? You start I think it's once you start accumulating wealth, right? And it's funny because, my wealth isn't all accumulated from my passions, my hobbies. You know what I mean? And it's like I didn't even mean to get that kind of wealth. I had no idea that wealth even existed before. But because I got it, it just, all right, now I really have to do what I got to do in order for me to scale my money all the way up. And yeah, that's literally how I did it. And this is kind of like a message to myself in the future is like, yeah, yeah, I'm already knowing like Sterling139 is a millionaire. Like, duh. That's a quote from Andrew Tate actually. He's like, duh, of course he's rich, famous, successful. He's Andrew Tate. Well, same situation with me. Of course, Sterling139 is gonna hit that milli. Like, it's inevitable. And I even had a quote. It's in one of my older videos. When I was, I think it was with Eastern Fragrances. Shout out to them. They have some good oils, essential oils, or just body oils that it's really good. Smells great. Ladies love it. But I think I commented, monumental success is inevitable. And if you repeat that to yourself every day and you go to sleep and you're like, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, you know, your brain's going to have to believe it, you know. It's the same way as depressed people or people that are sad that are like, I feel like shit today. I feel like, you know, all right, well, okay. Well, that's what you're gonna feel like, you know? Me, I'm a winner. Like, I'm a legend, I'm an icon, you know, I'm Mr. Money, you know what I mean? And me and God have that connection too. I'm losing my voice, but yeah, we're over the 10-minute mark, but honestly, if you keep that mindset, you'll get to where you need to get to. It's like, where else is there to go, you know? Your body wants to go and your mind wants to go somewhere. You set your intention somewhere. That's where you're gonna end up. Anyway, peace.